Testing, testing. Trade recap. Friday, March 21st. No news. Boom, boom, bam. Bam, bam, boom. We're gonna do this. And today, 24th actually. It's a bit, yeah, whatever. See that news today was a bit high. I won't lie. Pretty sure. Wait a minute. Oh, alright, whatever. Um, so Friday coming in the market open, 9:30. We instantly sell off to these lows down here. Pretty sure these are the previous days PM session lows, and we sweep those out and then ES the in. So in turn, we got a little SMT divergence. SMT, boom boom bam, bam bam boom, blah blah blah, blah blah blah. Right there. Now, what do we look for when we get in here? Let me go back to the daily. Actually, so on the daily, we already broke past this and inversed this. So in turn, we had a breaking structure here and inverse. So all I was gonna look for was longs, since this to me, this down candle. Let me get the pointer. This down candle was like almost a retracement into the equilibrium. See that? So I wanted to see longs get respected coming into the end of Friday and then coming into the next week. So we did get that this week. Coming into this week, um, what's this? This new week opening, this gap anyways. So coming in with the SMT with everything in mind, we're just taking longs. So what I wait for, I was looking at both. So when ES inverse, or my bad, broke these highs, I was actually gonna regard these, where is it, this one here, this move up here, as broken as well, and just this move here just to be a retrace, similar to how ES next move was a retracement into this, like equilibrium, and tapped all this breaker block, order block. So coming into the 1 minute, you can tell a lot of stuff happened. Boom, boom, bam. 1 minute, taking my standard model I always take. I was actually trying to get from some more confirmation afterwards, since we were kind of like moving different ways. See how we were just going up, and then yeah, NQ wasn't really. It was still down here, so I wanted to see one more 5 minute up candle, and then boom. Although I could have took a trade, like took this one, this was probably the more better one, since this was my model here. See that? Boom, sweep, sweep, SMT, 5 minute retrace, inverse, inverse, exchange state delivery. I would have entered off of uh, this candle, but stops below here. But instead, I waited for that 5 minute up, like 5 minute up candle. So it was this candle here, this movement here, and all I waited for just a retrace into something, like so either retrace into this big order block and breaker block, or this fair value gap, or even equilibrium of the range. We did tap into equilibrium and this fair value gap. So once we displaced out of that, I put, so this place here becomes our protected low coming out of this fair value gap. Uh, we get this big displacement out of it, entered off the next wick, the next candle, stops below it, like I said, and simply my Profit targets were on the 1 minute was this the start of this move here. It's like around I think this breaker block or something. It's my first TP put stops break even as you can tell. I shouldn't have put this one instead. And on the 5 minute you can see this devil mark here, which is pretty strong drawn liquidity. I should have put that as my first AP, but well, even even though even if sorry I put that as my first TP or not, I would have got sorry broke stopped out break even. See, first AP over here, stopped out break even. Second TP up here, stopped out break even. Where my final one, not final, but my other one to catch the 2 RR was this 1 minute devil's mark. Even here, I think I had this one marked out at one point as well, but I didn't really need it. Pretty sure it was also somewhere here, so it's coming up into this thing. Wait, yeah, something like that. Waffling. Yeah, so it was just off this based on this 1 minute devil mark. You see, it's kind of like I could have just took this one, but anyways, this one. But we got stopped on anyways. But being said, I did see this. The next move, I was scaled back out in the 5 minute because my my bias was like also confident in my bias essentially. I was still looking for longs. I was willing to take another long. See here. So to me, this one here was a 5 minute break on NQ here, and just a retracement back. See how all these up candles, and then we got a retracement back this down candle into equilibrium. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, equilibrium, as you can see right here. So with that being said, I scaled yet again. Let me take this out and my model, boom, 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 inverse here, inverse, change in state. Here, we basically change the state over here later on, but this is the more technical one where it just broke structure and uh, inverse. So I just took it without the change in state. You could argue that the change in state was down here as well, but yeah, that's how I just took. So I just took this long, same targets. I'm pretty sure my first target was this one here, this one here, and kind of like put the stop to break even there, and then I just targeted the start of this order block and the top of this 15-minute high. Pretty sure it was an hourly high as well, somewhere here. But yeah, so stops break even here. We did get broke even here. Would have hit played if I didn't put stops break even so early, since this was the previous high, like just like accumulation zone almost, where I manipulate and then distributed. I just put stops break even up here on the accumulation zone high. Overall, it wasn't a bad trade taking this trade, but the the more solid trade I would say would have been to take this long down here, stops down here, and then target all the way up here for a 3.8 would have got me a better one, where I would take like stops down here or something, I don't know. But overall, this was a dub for No News Friday. You get me? No news, no problem. You get me? That's why I like to say no news is even better. It's even easier sometimes to know where prices, given that these conditions, like we just swept, dump, swap, break, hit on my model, and boom, target opposing liquidity. Pretty easy, pretty like not easy, but it's a pretty solid trade. Two trades on Friday, and coming into PM session, I didn't really want to take any more trades since I already took 2 AM. You know, don't want to be giving back your profits to market. So coming into Monday, let me see, 24th, boom, we had 145, whatever, PMI news and stuff. I'm sure it was this candle here where I marked out. So my bias was initially shorts for the news data lows, but as you can tell, we took a long instead since coming into market open, we are chopping all this, and from the range of these lows, I'm pretty sure 15-minute range, yeah, these lows, these highs, 30-minute, let's say, and ES, we actually formed an SMT where ES went into the equilibrium, filled the equilibrium, while NQ just decided to keep chopping, not even coming down to equilibrium. And I'm pretty sure this was because of just President Trump, just Trump speaking, that little bastard. The op, no, sorry, not allowed to say that, you get me. In all fairness, is if Trump gets on that microphone, who knows what that guy's gonna do. If you're in a trade, you're cooked. You're either cooked or not. And pretty sure if we go in here, going down here, I literally waited for news and I read this thing. So Trump was said all this. He was saying he's gonna break tariffs. Pretty bullish for price, in my opinion. So we even had a SMT as well going into here. So I changed my bias to going from shorts to just taking longs to these external highs, going from internal to external. You get me? We also had this devil mark again, really strong draw on liquidity. So these data lows I'd expect maybe get hit during the week or something. I'll still have this during next day probably, or it might even get hit. Nah, I don't think so on Asia session, but most definitely during this week, this thing is probably gonna get hit, pushed down, and we did fill out this whole week imbalance, and we have a new one down here. If we displace another one, I mean daily balance down here, probably might want to fill that in. So sometime in the week, I thinking that price might dump down to these data lows and fill out this gap. But yeah, so chop 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 after wait, where is it? After um, Trump news came out, 6:30. Well, this is I think this time is on my time zone, but that was around here. This candle here, we see instant upsides like buy pressure, and we see another breaking structure. Given that we already had an SMT that and ES didn't take any equilibrium, so SMT breaking structure after news retrace on this candle. Look how far that retrace down. Let's say you were looking at this, looking for a retrace like somewhere like this. This candle, for me, I would regard as the retrace. If not, you could have just waited for this small one, but I wouldn't really since price, this candle here retrace all the way back into these breaker and order block. So with that in mind, we also break past all this, 15-minute as well, all this liquidity. This was basically free. I'm not even kidding. Accumulation, manipulation, SMT, manipulation, and this was our distribution. So if you couldn't catch this, I suggest like trying to look more or try and find these more. Um, just try your best to get on the charts and try and notice where these. See, this is also accumulation and then manipulation, accumulation, manipulate down. For sure, ES had these lows. See, we manipulated on this and we didn't. We formed another SMT and distribution. So if you're able to just notice the accumulate AMD thing, you'd be pretty set even without my model. So after that retrace, see that fat retrace, I entered off of just this candle here. Where was it? This change in state of delivery since we already went, we respected basically this whole range, the discount. We touched this variable gap, order block, kinda no, break block, order block basically on the higher time frame, break block on the higher time frame, and also wasn't equilibrium well. This fair value gap on the higher time frame, and when price changes say delivery, this fair value gap as well. I waited for the retest, put a limit order on this change in state right here, and I was in. Stops on below here. I could have honestly put my stops tighter here, but like since this candle here was so big, I just needed to put a bit more room for relief for the price. Yeah, I'm just a big waffler, I won't lie. So entered off there, we were chopping. I pulled out this method. Pulled out this method. What you know about this method, lads? Hammer and magnet method. It was chopping so hard. I started whipping this out. Like crazy stuff. Boom, 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 boom type thing. And yeah, so chopped around a bit. First take profits, like I said earlier on, this devil's mark, and after that, I kind of just put stops to break even and just targeted 2R. And we did get stopped out, as you can see here, after devil's mark thing. We did get stopped out break even right here, which is unlucky. But overall, good trade. Very good trade in my opinion. Boom, boom, bam. That's first win on the week, I guess. Hopefully we could get some tomorrow. I mean today, apparently. There's not much news, all just orange folders. Pretty sure I'll see what I can make do of if AM is very choppy or just keeps continuing to pump. I might just take a trade on PM. That's alright. See you lads.